Hey there, Jets fans. Well, the general manager search is finally over. The Jets announced Friday night that Joe Douglas will be their next GM. They've agreed to terms. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting that it is a 6-year contract for Douglas to become the Jets' new GM. And obviously, this ends a 24-day process of the Jets looking for their next GM after they fired Mike Maccagnan back on May 15th. So with all this coming to an end, it's worth asking the question, basically, was this worth it for the Jets? Obviously, there was a lot of drama and hoopla once Maccagnan was shown the door, and rightly so. I mean, the Jets certainly mishandled plenty of aspects of that firing, even if the underlying basics of letting Maccagnan go were sound. But it was open for interpretation whether or not this search would wind up putting the Jets in a better place than they were beforehand. But based on this hire, it does look like the Jets are in better hands now than they were before. Obviously, we're going to have to wait and see, how exactly Joe Douglas performs on the job. It's impossible to tell exactly what someone will do before they are ever in these positions. The NFL is difficult to predict, as we all know. Football is an unpredictable business. Joe Douglas has never been a GM before, so for all the pros that come along with him and his talent evaluation and all the good things he's done in the past, especially with the Eagles these last handful of years, it's always tough to say exactly what the guy will be when he steps into that number one role. So keep that in mind. We do still have to, reserve some bit of judgment here for just how things go over these next few years. But at least now, on paper, when the Jets are making this decision, there's going to be that same question mark about every candidate not knowing exactly what the future holds. But all they can do is make the decision based on who is the best candidate, who has the best resume right now. And it was pretty clear-cut among the 4 people that the Jets interviewed, and really among any candidate that you could have floated out there, that Joe Douglas was the most qualified person on the market. He has he checks all the boxes that the Jets needed him to. He's a good talent evaluator, as we mentioned. He's proven that he can build around a young quarterback. Obviously, the Jets want to do that with Sam Darnold. Douglas did it with Carson Wentz with the Eagles. He has the ability to put together a very strong staff. We're going to have to see how Douglas does that in the coming days, but he has connections around the league that should help him pull it off. And plenty more things. His relationship with Adam Gase, for one, that should be helpful. So, this really does look like a home run hire for the Jets on a number of different fronts, at least on paper. So, when you're answering the question, was this worth it for the Jets? At least right now, it looks like yes, it was.